stream is not. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. Welcome back to the Apex Online Racing iRacing Super Formula Season 1 round number 8. We head stateside for is what can only be described as a classic road America. I'm biased, and I am unapologetically so. I love this circuit. It was a special place in my heart as this was the scene of my very first GT3 commentary for AOR back in 2016. My name is King Kodiak, and I am very glad to be bringing you the action alongside my faithful companion, the man that holds the reins, who's responsible for bringing me back into an AOR box. It is, of course, Mr. Nick Domino.
Well, thank you for having me here, and we are back in, over the stateside, trying to actually show the real guys how to put on an event. Not pulling any punches there. We are joining for another driver's track. Last time out they were doing Sandford, so not an easy one, and well, for some reason iRacing has decided that they should not have an easy one tonight as well.
Indeed, so Zandvoort, very, very difficult circuit. Road America, different, very different. The challenge is very, very different. There's more overtaking opportunities, but this track is very bumpy. And during the practice session, we, before the stream went live, we saw a number of people really struggle to keep the car on the black stuff. There's several very, very key areas where it all goes wrong. Returning to us, Mr. Rudy Arbeitsland was quickest for a while in the practice session. That's right on board with returning number 87, exceedingly fast driver, one of the fellow CRC drivers. Need to get that final turn absolutely right because you're on the gas for a very long time. Up and over the first pass, one of the most energetic flagmen in the world, of course, in the start. Down through 3 laps of single qualifying our drivers had. Turn 1, just come down, gear or 2, kiss the apex. Turn 2 doesn't really exist, but it is so numbered because Road America. Turn 3, this is a very big hotspot here for getting it all wrong, flirting with that outside rumble strip. A little bit too much will just catapult the car over to the right hand side and into certain destruction. Turn 5, downhill braking zone, very easy to get wrong, but a big runoff area gives the drivers a little bit of comfort there. Short burst up the hill, turn 6, use the rumble strip on both the entrance and the exit. Turn 7, flat out, all tiny lift if you need to. Back downhill again, turn 8, down through the gears. Again, a common overtaking spot, but a common mistake spot. The carousel, this long, never-ending tyre torture that is turns 9 and 10. Now onto the back section, the kink coming up here. Again, flat out, but if you make a mistake here, you are going so fast, your car will detonate. Turn 11, don't ask, don't know. The kettle bottoms, then Cannibal Corner. Very, very famous corner for those that are familiar with this circuit. Now 13 and 14. Again, you come up over the crest, the car goes low, easy to lose it at this point. Then down the gears, turn 14, the final turn. Very, very important to get right, as I said at the beginning of the lap, because on the gas for a very long time. Now, what times are we seeing on the board? We're seeing 140s in practice with the track very rubbered in. And we haven't got the overlay on, so not sure what the times are, but Rudy Arbeitsland showing us how it's done.
2 seconds, King. I will get you on the overlay as well. But yeah, Rene Osterkamp is right now P1 with a 140 time there, and the time from Rudy was not really something that was impressive there. He's down in P8, so not the start that he would want it, but maybe it's a just getting out there, getting a safety lap in, not really pushing too much out there, and keep your tires alive. So we will just see, but Nuttall is less than a tenth behind. As I say that, Rene just put in the fastest lap. That's the can. Thanks. Yeah.
But, yeah, exactly as you say, not a huge gap. 4 tenths of a second in some places. Never mind, the warrior himself, Phil Reed. I've been really looking forward to commentating on again. I haven't commentated on Phil since the GTE League years and years ago. And half a tenth separates him and Rene Osterkamp, two drivers that cross swords many, many times during the aforementioned GTE League. And, yeah, that's not an idle title. He races on I don't know how he races on a control pad. To the day, I do not know how, but 0.002 of a second separates Jamie Nuttall, who I believe was quickest in the pre-qualifying practice session, and Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible, and yes, you said he's driving with a controller, and nobody knows how or why, or it's one of those many questions, and Phil is just the man to do it. But yeah, the pad warrior himself, and he has decided to go over to the side of the track, not being able to really push that anymore. As Rene is still on one flyer, this will be his last one. Will he be able to do anything about it? He's really pushing everything that he can. Will it be an improvement? No, it won't, unfortunately. So that will be his qualifying over at this point in time. But
will indeed.
But yeah, we talked Rudy up at the beginning of this qualifying, and he's now 2 seconds off. It hasn't really been his timing here. So yeah, wow. Rudy all the way back down into to P14 at this point. Yeah, and Mr. Lee here as well, all the way back into P16. So.
Well, I mean, Shorty Lee, we didn't see in the qualifying session, so could be a very late joiner. Does Rudy improve? 141.5 puts him up to 11th place. Well. Not quite going his way, but then some people just don't settle into certain tracks. James Dempsey was somewhat late, I think, joining the practice session, or didn't set a particularly strong time. Finds himself a 10th position, just behind Lucas Dolzer, who we haven't seen for a little while as well. So some different names this time over what we saw last time out in Zandvoort. Obviously, a number of our familiar names. There is a Yoshi Lin or Jerry Lin. All flirting with the grass, but then you have to.
Yeah.
You've got to maximize every pixel of every track you're at. But the thing is, it's not so bad there at turn 5 because you do have runoff area to use. But there are some places where the barriers are very, very close to the track, particularly.
Oh, that's way too much. That's way too much. That's an off track.
That is too much indeed, yeah. So that'll be the end of that lap for Jerry Lynn. It's qualifying session just a minute away from over, and that great livery on James's car. We were talking off
weird one. That's a lot. That's a lot of weird chrome on there, and you can just see that the game is not really handling that too well. But it's fine. It's better than the frog.
I was gonna say you've been upset by Jamie Nuttall's.
Yeah.
Now, interesting choice here from Daniel Scott with that lovely Petronas livery on last time.
Yeah.
And he's not running it this time, which is a bit strange, but he comes over the line, 141.698. Does he improve from 14th?
Yes.
He goes up 1 ahead of Alexander Tremino Mikkelsen.
We only have Chauvelin here at the end, coming into his fast right king, and in this car it's easily flat, but we don't know how these cars are with heavy fuel loads and when the tires are getting off there. So getting into slipstream and with the maybe tires going off. Oh, and he's not allowed to actually finish his lap. So let's just see if we can get our qualifying result here.
And there it is, René Osterkamp with Phil Reed on the front row. Then Jamie Nuttall and Matt Schneider on row 2. Eric Vizzi and Jerry Lynn on row 3. Evan Imre, didn't even see him set his lap. A storming 7th place for the AOR veteran. And Marcus Pietnix joined him on row 4. Lucas Dolzer and Scott Tuffy. Again, we didn't see Scott a great deal in the qualifying session. Is on row 5. James Dempster and Rudy Arvidsland on row 6. There are more cars than that joining the grid, but we didn't get them on the qualifying graphic. There's at least 16 I saw in the tower, which was more than we saw in practice. So I'm glad that we've got a good, decent-sized grid once again.
Oh yeah, definitely. And right now, as we've talked about before, once that you've tested out everything here, it works, and then when you go into the actual session, it doesn't work. So I'm just getting this working. Yeah, but yeah, we got the top 12 there, and one of the guys at the rear end that we were talking about earlier, is Peter Parnell there. And he's just always there, and he's last, but he's just always there. And we saw last time that he just was struggling so much, but
you can't blame him because Zandvoort is a difficult circuit. The thing is that what makes Road America different in a different way is where the bumps are. It is a very bumpy track, and this car doesn't ride bumps particularly well. So it's going to be
ready to go.
And away we go. Wind it up and let them go. A storming start once again from Osterkamp. Phil Reed already having to defend. There's our ever energetic flagman. But look at this, 2-3 wide, almost coming down into turn 1. Oh, that's someone wide. I think it's someone. Oh, there's an incident at the back. We've got a crash at the back of the field, which unfortunately is a little bit inevitable with Road America, such as the nature of the circuit. It's really Arvidsland. There's had that incident. Jamie Dempster, he's already put his car back into the pits. Oh, that was an interesting start from the tail end of the field, as we now see a little bit of the start from the back end of the grid. See what happened here. As,
René's off. Sorry, I have to. Oh my goodness me!
And there he is. That's down at turn 5. So
it's a solo.
Wow! As he's trying to recover, the tail's just completely let go.
Yeah,
that's really odd. You can see he's gone a little bit too hard, and then the car not quite balanced enough. Was trying to plant the foot too heavily and spat him out. René Osterkamp, championship leader, champion elect, down into 13th place.
Oh, let's try and get the start again. I had to get it when he crashed there, but. Let's just see here. He's going onto the outside, Rudy. Oh, that's a front wing loose, and that's wow.
Oh, Rudy's so innocent there. He was just on the outside, minding his own business, and sadly had cars piling into him. So that's Daniel Scott, Jamie Dempster out of this race. But Phil Reed, the Padman, is now leading the way, 6 tenths of a second over Jamie Nuttall, the man with the. Well, I do like the frog. I'm sorry, I do.
I know you do. That's really the issue here. But yeah, right now Phil Reed is out there where he likes it the best. Just out there setting the pace himself. One of the statistics that we actually kind of looked at before this race, as you see here, Eric is getting closer and closer to Jean Lin here and trying to see if he can get onto the inside here. He's definitely looking for it. No, just deciding to get out of that. Is that René has actually not won any of these sprint races as Eric is going onto the inside. No, he's just looking. Not really trying to decide there. So, wow.
That was Jared in with a really big tank slapper there just coming out of turn 6. But manages to keep Eric Vizzi at bay. Yeah, coming back to what you were saying, René Osterkamp has yet to win a 50-minute race in this season. Obviously, his consistency has meant he is a long way ahead in the championship standings, but as we've always said, one mistake has cost him a potential to seal the championship. At this point, there's Evan Imre on the back, very busy. I saw he was getting close.
No, Evan is behind. Evan is behind here. That is...
I thought that was Evan making the move. Oh, goodness me, I thought wrong red car. That's very busy on Jerry Lynn. Oh, excuse me, but that's not taken away from Evan. He is actually getting closer to Jerry Lynn. Could Evan then make the move? He's got Martin Phoenix and Lucas Dolzer on his tail to pair the SIMRC cars. So we will have to see with Jerry Lynn losing that position. Phil Reed with the fastest lap on the race. We're at the bottom of the shot though. That was Matt Schneider, I think, on the tail of Jamie Nuttall. That's Rennie Osterkamp. Well, he wasn't going to stand for that, was he? As he gets past Peter Panner, I think Peter was like, "That's not my race."
No.
On you go.
Yeah.
You know realistically who you're in a battle with, and when you're unfortunately, as you kindly refer to as the gentleman driver, when you're here and you're putting in the time, but sadly the lap times are a bit off the pace. You don't tend to challenge the championship leader.
No, you're looking at that and thinking that is definitely not my battle. You know, you can easily try and see if you can. Oh, as he's trying to go on the inside there, that was Alexander. He's actually overtook there. Alexander, again, one of the new guys for this race, and Peter's going for the inside here. Oh my goodness, a great look there. But he has also been looking a little bit unwell with the car, but it is a difficult car, so we have no idea how much time or practice that he's been in there, but we are happy that he's out here racing. But yeah, when you see Rene in the rearview mirrors and you see that green helmet and that yellow front, you're like, not today.
Probably the red eyes boring into your soul.
Yeah. Oh, Bunny going for the inside.
He's not going to keep it. Oh, what a shame. Didn't we both want to capture his overtake there? We both want, let's be honest.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been amazing. But and that's just to show that he's here to fight, as Phil Reed has just put in the fastest lap. He's not gonna just let Rene have this one. So really great.
Phil and Rene have crossed swords so many times in the past, but of course Rene's some distance behind the leader at the moment. And yeah, Phil's not broken away too far from Jamie Nuttall and Max Schneider, who are still battling for the next podium. Well, there they are. There's the podium three. They've broken away from the rest of the pack a little. 1.7 seconds separates Max Schneider from Eric Vizzi. But the podium three all in short distance of each other. Now, strategy, of course, is going to play a part. They cannot just completely sprint to 50 minutes. There is a mandatory pit stop involved in this race as well. That's what the zeros next to the deltas are representing, whether they've been in the pits or not. As we look at Jerry Lynn, Evan Imre on his tail, and also with Eric Vizzi, who Jerry Lynn's previous sparring partner. Right behind Evan is Marcus Pitnix and Lucas Dolzer.
And then these guys, we saw them last race. You guys will be able to catch it later on as we have Chauffeur going on the inside of. Oh, that is Scott Turvey, our YouTuber actually, who is falling down a little bit here.
Maybe we didn't last time out, did we?
No, we didn't. And I think you've gotten a little tap. There was a message on my board at least that he has been in a crash. Really? Yeah, so I think at the start he might be had a little bit of not much here, but these guys, there's nothing between them. You know, this is a slipstream train, and we saw that last time out. As Jamie Nuttall has just put in the fastest lap, so he's
Rennie's in the pits.
Rennie's in the pits.
In the pit lane.
Yeah, getting off, those tires, get into some free air, putting in the lap times, and overtake the guys when they are gonna pit at some point, because a lot of them are. So, or they should be. So let's see if this will work. We saw last time actually that some of the guys really benefited from. Oh, SI7 going a little bit deep there, and he will lose not one but two positions, and that's how close these guys will looking. So Evan going from P6 down to P8 already. Wow, and he has been really piling on the pressure here this last couple of races. Really being in with the car and being up there getting those points. So wow, he will be frustrating with making a mistake like that.
True enough, but it is a very easy mistake to make as a downhill braking zone into turn 5, and so it is very, very easy, as we saw Renault do on the opening lap, just to overcook your braking point, and then you're off into just all sorts of dust and sand and rubbish. Very easy to spin the car. Evan managing to keep the car pointing in the right direction, and he can now get back up to speed and hopefully challenge Marcus and Lucas ahead of him. Phil Reed almost getting over a second head. Oh, it's Phil in trouble. Phil's in trouble.
Phil is saying he's slow down here. Let's see after this what has happened. But yeah, he has definitely lost the P1, and Maximilian Snyder is definitely looking on to try and see if he can get up there. But Phil is now pushing in on the back of the Frog there. So the Pad Warrior versus the Frog. And then that is the lead.
Phil must have made a mistake out of that last corner, because he had no pace, and there was no reason for him to let Jamie through.
Oh, whoa!
What a catch! Well played, Phil. So yeah, he just flirted too much with that, with the grass on the outside of turn 1, and the final turn rather. And yeah, that almost pitched his car into the wall. Caught it really, really well. Already challenging back for the lead. You know, he built up nearly a second, did Phil, over Jamie Nuttall. So now he's got to get back past the Frog, and Max is going to be piling on the pressure as well. You know, you could argue that may not be, he may not consider that his fight, but if Max wants to get back into the fight with Jamie, he's got to deal with Phil, and he's going in between them. And look behind, Eric Vizzy has managed to gain some pace as well, certainly gain some time. Now that he's gotten past Jared in, so we could be in for a four-way fight for the top position.
Yeah, and right behind them, you know, there's another three-way battle here between Puchek, Lucas Stolzer, and Evan Imre. And Evan hasn't really given up on these guys, and he's really piling on the pressure and trying to keep up with these guys, because he needs to be there to not get out of the top 10. There are definitely guys really being up there. And that's what we talk about again, you know, if you lose these cars, it's not a small one. It will be a big one, as we see Phil Reed. He's so close. If he gets any closer, he will be able to see what Jamie had for breakfast. Oh my goodness me.
Let's ride on board with Max, actually. He's got a great ringside seat for the battle ahead of him. We go on board on a nose cam, and look at the defensive line. Jamie Nuttall pulling in. He knows that Phil's going to make the challenge. Outside line on turn 5 is a brave place to do it. Nearly impact between the two. And Jamie manages to defend that inside line. He's going to have the inside for 6. And Phil has to concede again. What a great effort, and well driven from both of them. All flirting with the grass. Several of them actually flirting with the grass on the outside of turn 7. Into turn 8, then Jamie going a little bit wide. No way that Phil can utilise anything there. But if we now go to the trackside camera, Eric Vizzy is in striking range almost of Max Schneider behind. If we look behind, there he is. So he has gained on Max, who was probably compromised a little bit from the battle ahead of him with Phil and Jamie. We have seen overtakes here, but it's a dangerous place to do it. Jamie, I think, broke early there to let Phil complete the move. Great move, Phil Reed, back up into the lead.
And Phil definitely looks to be the man with a plan and the speed here. And, you know, these guys flirting with the grass, that is a slippery date to have at this point in time. But, you know, Eric getting up there and pushing these guys, you know, them fighting has definitely lost them a little bit of time here. And, you know, they were able to get away from Eric there.
Scott Tuffy's in trouble. He's suddenly dropped. What's happened to the number 21? He's dropped a long way back.
Ooh, there's the shuffle. Yeah, that's after. Oh my goodness me. Oh,
that's what happened to. So yes, Scott Tuffy, completely innocent bystander there. Just. That's going to be in the ball. Oh, that's such a shame. But yeah, huge accident for Schuffelau.
Oh.
Bump at the wrong time and detonates the car. Unfortunately, that is the end of the race for number 99. And three-wheeling back to the pits was Scott Tuffy. A huge shame there. Back up to the battle for the top spots. Phil Reed already building up a little bit of a gap again. But as we've already seen, it's very easy for that one mistake we've seen several times. That mistake is so easy to make, and your race is either over or you have to do an absolute save of the gods, as Phil did when he flirted with the grass on the outside of the final turn a few laps ago.
Yeah, and they're just pushing, and you know, with 36 minutes left of this race, there's still a lot of racing to do. But these guys don't know that. They are just, you know, fighting from flag to flag. You know, and they have to manage tires, they have to manage energy as well, because they do have a push to pass function. Formula 1 have DRS, but these guys have the push to pass. Slipstream around here is quite effective as well, and that's what we definitely see here. Right now, as soon as these guys stop fighting, you know, we saw Eric, he's losing a little bit of the toe there. He definitely want to be a little bit closer to get that toe, as we have he has been into the pits. He is now letting the field by here, which he should be doing, and that's a great racing from him.
Really slow him down as well. It was great awareness that he's letting a big stream of cars. You know, he could easily just let one or two cars go, but he's now realising there's a lot of cars that are now forcing him into a blue-black position. But look at this. Reed, Nuttall, Schneider, Vizzy, all in short order. And Jerry Lynn is less than a second behind it. This group as well as René Osterkamp retakes that fastest lap. Well, of course, René Osterkamp doing René Osterkamp things. He's got no one around him, so he's got no challenge, no defence to offer to anybody else. Of course, that means he doesn't have anyone to slipstream from.
No.
That being said, you know, René Osterkamp is just going to get his head down and his foot even further down.
Yeah, and he, you know, these drivers, as we've seen a little bit, they are sliding, they're using way too much of the track sometimes, and when you're in here, you're losing downforce, so yeah, you're this close, but your tires are heating up, and you're just like rubbering over it, you're sliding all the time, and you're destroying your tires slowly, so you will see these guys losing lap times. So René is in a prime position to really get the lap times down. But you know, if anybody thought what would the AOR Super Formula League look without René Osterkamp in the front, this is the answer. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys battling it out for P1 here at Road America.
Wow.
And they have all had off tracks in that particular corner. They are really pushing it.
Indeed. So as a reminder, those that may not be too familiar with this league setup, the green light on the that's not on the rollover, it's on the
Roadhook.
And that green light indicates if they are utilising their push to pass, it will flash quite rapidly. If the push to pass is in use, it will flash slowly. If it's on cooldown, when it turns red, they are getting to the end of their allocation.
Oh, Phil Ray just a little bit out of position there, and he will be losing a little bit of time. Can Jamie really pounce here?
Well, that's the thing, though, is that Phil Weeds, he took a different line into the carousel to try and maximise his exit speed, but Jamie Nuttall, with that slipstream, has negated that. Is he going to try and make a move there? Phil did on him a few laps ago. Oh, he thought about it, but Phil just positioned his car enough to keep that door closed.
But yeah, that was just a little mistake for Phil in the corner before the carousel, and he just went a little bit deep there and compromised his carousel. Oh, as he's going way wide there. And that is one of the things, you know, he is the pad warrior at this point in time, so he might not be having the same feel as some of the other guys with the steering wheel. But Phil is a hard man. He just doesn't care. He just drives. And oh, this is getting close. This could be an expensive mistake if any of these two make one. Wow.
If one person makes a mistake from this group, unless it's Jerry Lynn on the back of the field, it could well take several of them with them. Let's see again on the run towards turn 5. We've seen how popular at least an attempt at a pass is here. Again, you saw Eric Vizzy think about it, but opted not to. Didn't gain enough on Max Schneider ahead of him, and probably quite wisely so. So through turn 6, into 7. Again, just giving him a bit of dust there. Risky, but if you know you're going to do it, you get off the gas. Just let the car drive itself, but you don't power when you're on the grass. Really giving up. Oh, great camera shows here. You see Phil go for a bit of a wider line coming through the carousel and then cuts back towards the road pits on the exit. And that does give him a few tenths over Jamie Nuttall, but Jamie Nuttall still is slipstream range. A little bit less effective at that distance. You need to be within 8 tenths, as I tend to say, for slipstream to be a thing. Matt Schneider certainly within that, thought about it, but Jamie Nuttall had enough radar to defend adequately to keep the number 72 behind. Eric Busy looking to try and capitalise as well. Can't quite do it. Jalen falling a little bit off the back of the pack, and that's allowing Phil Reed flirting again. Wow! Off the outside for the final time.
And Sean Lynn is in the pits. Geraldine has decided to take this time to pit and get into the miles as Eric is looking for. He's having a peak at this time point in time. He hasn't really committed to any of the passes, but he's just saying hello, I'm here, being ready to pounce. But these guys fighting here is just giving Phil that little bit of air to get out of there. But we see him make some small mistakes, and I don't think that will be the last one for this particular race, as this is a difficult track again. It is bumpy. They don't really like new asphalt around here, and the drivers love it for it. That's really one of the things. This and a track like Sebring. There was I think it was 2 years ago, they were talking about resurfacing Sebring, and all the drivers were like, well, then let's not drive there anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, they really don't want it, because they're like, that is the characteristics of Sebring. It is bumpy, and that is what it is, as Evan is getting really close to Lucas here through the carousel. Can he take it out of the carousel? Getting closer and closer onto this back straight.
And Alexander Mikkelsen right behind. There's an opportunity for Evan. He's got the slipstream. He's got the overspeed. Moves out from the slipstream up. Lucas Dalza looks at the inside line. Coming up to turn 12. Can the corner? No. Can't get it done. It's a poor place. We saw Phil Reed make a great job of it when he overtook Jamie Nuttall for the lead once more. But that did rely on Jamie Nuttall braking early. Evan Imray, not saying he doesn't trust Lucas Dolzer to do the same thing, but it's a very dangerous place to make a move, as we see Max Schneider closing in. No, he's back down to that. As there's a little bit of a gap forming between Max and Eric Vizzi. So Eric is either just holding back a little bit or is struggling to maintain the pace of the top three. We don't know. Oh, but a wiggle from Jamie Nuttall. I think he hit his push to pass a slight bit too early, and that just dumped a little bit too much power into the rear wheels, more than the car was expecting. Oh no, the push to pass has just come to an end. It lasts a lot longer than that. So it just dumped a bit more power than Jamie was expecting into the rear wheels, but he did manage to catch it.
As Evan is going on the inside. Evan going for the move here, as he's just turned off his push to pass. They can turn it on and off themselves when they want, because they have to manage it, and that was a great pass. And you know what? One of the things around here is that we have that into Canada corner, and Canada corner is a tricky corner, because you think it's a heavy braking zone, and it kind of is, but the way the corner is, it's faster than you think, so it's difficult to really get that overtake here. I think Stein is definitely looking for a move here. Is he gonna go for the inside, or staying behind there? Oh my goodness me, guys.
Goodness me. Let's ride on board with Eric Vizzi. Again, we've got the back car of this group. If we ride on the nose cam of Eric Vizzi, we get a great view of how this will unfold through the final turn. Nice deep turn again, flirts with the outside, and no, we've just been denied. As Max Schneider pulls into the business, he's utilising this opportunity to get out of this pack. If he feels like he's being held up, that's not a bad move. We're not pushing too far from halfway. It's how quickly this race has flown by. As Jamie Nuttall still hanging on to the back of Phil Reed. Phil did manage to build a little bit of a lead. That has gone as it's hovering around just under half a second now. Eric Vizzi is hanging on in there as well. Didn't lose anything from Max Schneider jumping into the pits. Obviously that could have compromised Eric Vizzi, because that would have left a big hole for Eredivisie lacking slipstream, but that wasn't the case. He was close enough to Jamie Nuttall, but that wasn't an issue. As we see running Oscar now, as Yorshi Lin is. I thought Jerry Lin was in the pits then, but no, Jerry Lin is some 7 seconds down the road. Running Oscar Championship leader, fastest lap holder, still hanging on in there. We'll see if his early pit stop strategy following that spin is going to pay off for him.
But he's 7 seconds, you know, when we look at it here, he's 7 seconds of Schneider at this point in time. So, as he's just losing a position here to Jean Lin, as we talked about before, you know, that pitting early has helped them in the past. Because it takes a little bit to get these tires into temperature. So, getting that early pit stop out there can really help your tires, but you don't want to pit and then get into traffic. As we've just seen Schneider now, he's just lost, you know, a position and can't really use those tires now. Where both of them pitting. That was a late move by Jamie.
It was a bit. Yeah, maybe unless he was thinking about what Eric was going to do, or he was going to do the opposite of what Phil was doing.
Evan as well.
Evan Imre in as well from what was 5th place. So that puts let the position sort themselves out. That's Marcus and Lucas now into 2nd place, but they haven't seen the pit lane as yet.
I think that's a back marker right there. Yeah, that is Chevrolet right behind them.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, so Chevrolet. Now, the number 99 car is perfectly allowed. Whoa! It's a bit of rude action going on there on the number 30 car. Now, Chevrolet is allowed to unlap himself.
Oh, that's a lot of overspeed here, getting out of the pits. Wow.
I was about to say, Jerry Lin in the mix of quite a few cars here.
Oh, that's a contact!
That's Max Schneider's bounced off the side of Eredivisie. Oh no, that's... He'll be able to crawl. Let's see this again. So that's Eredivisie coming out of the pit lane. Gets a bit of a wiggle on there.
Oh,
and
that's just...
squeezed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. But I mean... Well, if that one gets raised to the stewards, I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, I wouldn't. That's a difficult one to call. I'm not sure either of them did anything wrong. A bit of spatial awareness, perhaps, from Eredivisie, but either way, we'll let the stewards decide that one. That's Jerry Lin having a look, is it? Oh, no. Well, that's Jamie Nuttall that has lost out there.
And have we seen our gentleman driver?
I was about to say that. Peter now up into 4th. Yes, hasn't put it yet.
That has not been a great in lap for Phil. He has lost a bit of time there. So, oh, I saw it was about a second or two that he's lost on that lap alone. But you know, Lin here, he's been the benefactor of pitting early. He's ahead of both Jamie, Eric, and Brennan here because Schneider was in that battle early on.
True.
As Connie and
Alex Mikkelsen is also in.
And Lucas as well.
Well, that's the remains of the car.
Oh! Lin has taken the lead as Phil is getting out right in front of Nuttall. So we have had a change of lead. And that is the race strategy really playing out right in front of our eyes.
You also said, Nick, that Phil had a bad in-lap. Here comes Jamie Nuttall. He's capitalised on that. If he's made the move that early on, he should be able to commit to that. And claim 2nd place from Phil Reed. Well. The pit-stop strategy all starting to really play out now. Jerry Lin was in that battle earlier on. Pitted early in the race, starts someone going wide.
Oh, that is Alexander going wide after his pitting and getting overtaken by Scott Turfey and Peter Parnell, who's in this fight. They're really battling out here. That's a great fighting between these guys as well.
Oh well.
And
may continue as well.
Yeah. Let's get some fighting on. They've been extremely close, these guys, as I can see that Lucas has been going slowly. What has happened to him?
Oops,
just getting a little bit off-roading.
It was a strange moment coming up the hill towards turn 6, and then the car just didn't want to behave itself. And then trying to turn left as Phil Reed go pushing hard because he wants to get back into the lead. But Jerry Lynn is building that lead. It's nearly 2 seconds now that the number 30 car has. So that's going to be difficult to overcome because Phil Reed has the AOS, wrong sport. That's the slipstream from Jamie Nuttall. Jamie Nuttall using his push to pass there to give him some space over Phil Reed, and Jerry Lynn with the fastest lap as well. We know how quick Jerry Lynn is, but probably still a bit sore from losing the spot from the sprint race last time out.
Oh yeah, he definitely decided to see what this car looks like when it's in pieces, and but doing it on the last lap in a sprint race is definitely not the time to do it. Whereas Phil is definitely pushing out there. He will be gutted with this because he was out there leading this race and setting the pace at the beginning of it, and right now Eric is really piling on the pressure here, going way off track there as well. Now getting into carousel here, and he can actually use his push to pass right now, and that's the beauty of it. You can't really see it here, but we can. That Phil Reeds is on a recharge, so Phil wouldn't be able to really defend here. So it's actually it's easier when you're in front than it is when you're behind to really defend for it, because you can see in the rearview mirrors, alright, is the guy behind me using it or not? But getting closer and closer. So Phil compose himself and get back up there and get those lap times in that he knows he can put up.
That's the flirt with the grass on the outside of that final turn. He's bitten him once or twice. But Jamie Nuttall has got himself a seconds gap and the fastest lap as well of the race. So he's got a second between himself and Phil Reed. As we now look at championship leader René Osterkamp, he's only 6 seconds behind that leading group. So following at disastrous spin on the opening lap, he's still on for a respectable result. Here's Max Schneider on the back of Evan Imre. This is a 6th position now as the CMRC number 72 again just kicking up the dust. Now he uses push to pass. Evan, unless he's deployed it as well, which he hasn't, you can see the flashing light is not there on Evan's car. There's no way Evan's going to be able to defend that, and he knew it. Didn't put up a defense, knew the pace was too great, but don't discount anything. Evan can very easily stay in the tire track, but he can. He has the opportunity, he has the time to be able to push back and challenge again for that 6th place.
Yeah, and if he plays his card right, he knows that Maximilian just used his push to pass. You can see that on the overspeed that he had. So if he can be close here and use it on the back straight, he can be right up there again. But I think he's just lost a little bit too much time here, as the battle for the podium positions is still going on here at the moment with Jimmy Nuttall and Phil Reed, and they're getting closer and closer at this point in time to win. So nothing is done. And if these 3 or 4 guys, now I will commentate a Kirsten, if they hit each other, who is the benefactor? It will be Osterkamp.
It will be definitely Osterkamp. Well, we'll see.
But what we have seen again, as we talked about, he hasn't won any of these longer races.
But we're also talking about the man that, in his one mistake at Zandvoort, still managed to find the one bit of escape road that prevented him going into the wall.
It was really close for him to just deciding to remodel the wall with his car.
A bit of a wiggle there from Phil, but that won't lose him too much because, of course, the run from 6 to 7 is very, very short. But he does not want to push the car that hard too many times. It will bite eventually. It's just over a second now between Nuttall and Lynn, so that lead that Jerry had has just disintegrated. Now is Jerry Lynn just biding his time? Is he trying to save some of that delicate push to pass, or the very limited push to pass he has? We don't know. Can't imagine he has a problem. He hasn't hit anything. I think he's just kind of saving everything for a last, closing race defense. We will see. But this is going to be fantastic for the fastest battling for victory here in Road America.
And yeah, he was definitely, he was slower than the other guys when we saw them at the beginning of the race. So not by much, but just a little bit. And these guys, he really kept on with these guys because they were battling so hard as they were. So of these four, he is the slowest. As we just see Eric Vigier trying to take that fastest lap and doing Osterkamp is actually losing time at this point. So I think
that's down to slipstream because Rene's got no one to slipstream off of. Actually, Jamie Nuttall is just about in slipstream range now of Jerry Lynn. So they've all got someone to slipstream off of, bar the race leader, of course. But Rene's got no one. If you look at the time, he's 7 seconds behind us.
Oh, Jamie just making a little bit of a mistake there. But yeah, just to get back to what you were talking about there, I think maybe Rene is also suffering from tires. He pitted very, very early on as well, so his tires might be gone at this point, or at least losing the top of the performance.
Could well be that he's burned the best out of them. I mean, the carousel here is where the left two just scream for mercy. But that was very nearly Phil Reed buried into the back of the frog, coming down towards the carousel. But Phil Reed is in the line up the middle again. He managed to get this on Jamie, but Jamie positioned his car perfectly to keep the door shut, and Eric busy buzzing around in Phil Reed's mirrors like an annoying wasp. You can never discount him from making the opportunistic move through the final turn once again onto the start finish straight. And again, Jamie Nuttall just possibly from Jordan. He won't really feel it from 8 points away, but he's far more interested in what the Pad Warrior is doing. No one using any push to pass from the top four. They're going to be saving that for the last few laps, I would think, as Jamie very nearly got onto the grass there. But yeah, that shows they're having to push very hard. There goes a push to pass from Jamie Nuttall. Unfortunately, he's going to end up dragging Phil Reed with him. Right around
Stop using the radar. I was just like, could we see how much? Because we can actually see how much they have when we are on top of the car. So it's maybe a little sneaky look on the inside of the cockpit, and we're just right now on board with the Pad Warrior, and that's why we see him with these extreme cat-like reflexes. Because if you were gonna do that on a steering wheel, there's just no way. But this is extreme. Get this man pedal on Hebrew, pedal on wheel set, and just be a lot slower. I truly think that.
That's the irony, isn't it? If you change the control method, it does really change. Oh, there's an opportunity again for Phil Reed. He's gaining in the slipstream. He has a look on the outside. Does he? No, not quite. He had the opportunity to commit to that, but he bowed out. Again, probably making the move now may not be too beneficial. We still have quite a few laps to go here in Road America. And Osterkamp is still 7 seconds behind. It could be, unless there's a major incident with these top four, and Osterkamp may not be able to challenge for the podium this time around. That being said, oh, hello, we have that's our Pineapple Man there. Did he get down on the wall? No, not quite, but it was a tiny, tiny tap. So, but then hit the wall again as he was trying to spin up. So
around here, that is keeping it out the wall.
Yes,
I will say, because when you first lose it like that, it's really difficult to get back on it. As Phil is really piling under pressure at this point.
Look at Jerry Lynn, very much under pressure now as Jerry Lynn's just got this pack of hungry eyes staring at him, trying to challenge for that touch. Phil Reed is nailed to the back of Jamie Nuttall at this point. If Jamie makes a mistake, Phil's going to plow into the back of him, but either way...
Phil will know it before Jamie even realizes that he's made a mistake. That's how close he is. That is how close he is.
Phil's that close, he knows what colour underpants Jamie Nuttall is wearing.
That is true. He's actually that close that right now he's getting sunburned just by the exhaust.
Yeah, very true. And again, another opportunity down into Canada corner. Is he going to go for it this time? Again, he's committed. How's he going to...
Oh, he is committed.
Yes, he does. That's been Phil Reed's signature move this race. Into Canada corner, gets it done. Now he wants to chase off after Joe Wood. And again, so many of these names have crossed swords so many times in iRacing. And we've got a replay here of, has it Rudy? Oh no, Rudy drops it! Rudy Adventsland has dropped it into the wall, and that's going to spell the end of his race. He's lost the nose, but back up to the top four. Eric Vizzi's a little bit far back, so he's making a move from there, but he's keeping his presence known. This time on Jamie Nuttall, and look at Phil. He's got himself a bit of distance now between himself, as big a distance as he's had.
Oh, Jamie!
Frog gets a big tank slap there, gets a bit of push to pass going to defend against Eric Vizzi and keep himself in touch with Phil Reed. Is it too late? Phil Reed sizing up the move on Jerry Lynn, looks one way, looks the other, a pair of side by sides.
There's contact!
Contact! But he saves it somehow, but it's going to drop Phil Reed out of the podium spot. Eric Vizzi looking to attack for second now. Outside line of turn 6. That's not paid off, but that's given Jerry Lynn a big old bit of breathing space.
Wow, guys. Yeah, once again, you know, going for these two battles and Phil Reed just being a little bit too optimistic there, but that's his driving style. It's, you know, all out attack, all out, you know, with his risk and reward stuff, and that would have been the move for P1, but he's right now looking to trying to get up into the podium position, and Eric is defending here because he knows that this is a Phil Reed overtaking spot. But now Phil is right now behind, and wow, that was so close to really going wrong. But even with all that, Jalin is not getting away at this point in time. He's only half a second in front of Jamie Nuttall, as Phil is getting a much better exit out there with his push to pass as well. And get I
think Eric had a bad run through that final corner and immediately looks to try and retake the position coming down into turn 1. Bows out of it, and I think wisely so was not. Wasn't really in a position to try and complete that move. What have we got here? Lucas Dolzer.
Oh, that's Schneider. Oh my god, the maximum Schneider. Oh my goodness.
Ouch. That's, well, that's limping back to the pit lane then for... That's another car that has shed a bit of weight by losing some wheels.
Yeah.
But back towards the top. Lim, Nuttall, Reed, Vizzy. You can almost pull their names out of a hat as to try and judge what positions they're going to finish in. The lead has primarily belonged to Phil Reed, but Jerry Lynn certainly since pit stop has had command of the lead, but Nuttall doing what he can to take the top honours at this point.
Yeah, and it has been such a great battle at this point in time, and Reed is just piling under pressure now. He's gotten the first of the guys that he really needs to pass at this point in time, but and Nuttall getting closer and closer, and he's trying to see if he can get in front here, and he really needs that because he knows that Phil is a bit faster and that he will try and overtake, and let's see if he can. Will he get it at that particular point in time, as we have seen him overtake into Canada corner the other time? That's a half right now.
Yeah, you can't blame Jerry for that. And riding on board, Phil Reed acting as our camera car this time with the fastest lap of the race time. That's mainly down the slipstream. But of course, with all that chopping and changing going on, that has allowed Renios to count closing a bit. Now 5.7 seconds. Like I say, it would take an incident for Rene to really close it significantly. I think Rene Oscar probably just running his own race at this point. What's happened to Scott Tuffy? He's had a few incidents already this race. We'll keep that one out of the wall at least, down at 10-8. That's a bit of a shame for him.
Oh, Phil Reed off the track!
I thought it was like he was coming into the pits, but I suspect that Jamie Nuttall braked a bit earlier than Phil was expecting there. Oh no, Phil missed his braking point. That was Phil Reed with too much overspeed. It had to bow out of it to prevent ploughing into the back of the Frogs. So, well, again, very, very good race awareness there from Phil Reed, but does he have enough time to close that gap back in? He's now a second behind Eric Vizzi. The man that was leading, I won't say comfortably, but certainly with enough pace to command the lead in that first half of the race is now not even in the podium spot.
Do we think that Jean Lin here is just thinking, well, what are you guys doing? I'm having a Sunday stroll up here. It's nice and easy.
I'm sure that's not what he's thinking. I'm sure that he's pushing as hard as he can. He realises that the cars behind him do have a little bit of a pace advantage, whether that is setup difference or whatever it is. He realises, I think, that certainly, most of the cars behind him in this pack are a bit quicker than he is. You see how heavily Jerry Lin is defending, so I'm sure he's not relaxed in that car. I'm sure he's just enjoying the fact that they're all kind of compromising their own race a little bit. But now Jamie Nuttall, with no immediate challenge, 6/10 between himself and Eric Vizzi, as they are now heading through turn 3. So this is an opportunity now for Jamie Nuttall to make the move. And Jerry Lin has gone to that. It's almost the racing line, really, because of the way that the Moraine sweep, as it's called, moves left to right. And no, he's not making the move yet. We only have 6 minutes left, and that was a bit of a strange line for Eric Vizzi. I think he's just keeping himself in check. Phil Reed, he's closing in a little bit, maybe just kind of getting himself back into the rhythm. Just as I say that, again, a bit of a twitch on the exit of turn 6, which he's done several times in this race. He's keeping himself in check, but how long? We've only got 4 laps left, maybe. It's not long for Phil to try and make up 3 positions, and equally Jerry Lin's probably begging the checker flag to come out. But this has been a great race from our top 4. That's been a great race from everybody. He has not also forget that Evan is he's in the top 10 of the championship. He's in 6th at the moment, so that's been good. He's good effort for him as well. And quite a few people, even surviving this track is pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he's been pushing it out there, and we saw him early on, being up there with the other guys. That's really what he needs to be, and getting these points in, as we talked about, into the top 10 in the championship as well, and really, gelling with this car. But the battle is here at the front. It is with the Chinese, the Frog, the championship contender, and the Pad Warrior. And it's just, these guys are getting closer and closer and closer, and at this time we have just no idea who will be
that's an attack from Jamie Nuttall, and you see Eric Vizzi had the speed, thinking where is he going to go, but Jerry Lin defending the inside line down at turn 5. He could defend the inside of 6. Here comes Eric Vizzi to challenge Jamie Nuttall. Oh my goodness me, no change at the top. Phil Reed now right in there as well. He's never really out of it, but that's disrupted the momentum of the top 3. Yeah, right on board with Phil Reed. We may stay on board here for the remaining 4 minutes of this race. Absolutely incredible stuff. Jerry must be sweating so hard in the 30 car.
Oh, he will definitely need a shower after this particular race. Wow, these guys are really pushing. Oh! I think that was Jimmy Nuttall just missing the apex into the king there. Will it be Eric going in for the move here into Kendall? Oh, Phil is braking so much later than the other guys. As Schneider's just put in the fastest lap, and he's on fresh new rubber. He has been pitting twice, but that was after we saw him hitting that wall. And once a part of your car is doing different lap times, that is not a good sign. That is a trademark, but look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's contact! That's contact!
Oh, no! That's exactly what I was worried about when they were getting that close. When he was coming to the podium spots. Oh my goodness me! But that is potentially the end of the race for Eric Vizzi. He's suddenly lost a wheel there, but Phil Reed is now in an attacking position, so here it is.
Oh, it's just, that was never going to go.
And that is the end of... that is such a shame. You never want to see it, but... I mean...
Wow. Eric Vizzi just gets, sent to the moon right there, and that's definitely him.
I would imagine that's an unhappy frog. Very unhappy frog.
Yeah, wow. And that was what we said, But one thing that I want to say is how the hell did Phil Reed not be in that? Let me just see if I can find it here.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could see how close they were, and how close Phil was to being collected as well by that incident. Wow, new underpants for car 44. That was just
Look at this! Wow!
So, we're talking about pixels worth there from Phil being caught up in that incident, but that has given us a duel for the victory of this race. They might have just beaten the flag for, I can see the flagman waving, but I'm not sure this is actually going to be deemed as the final lap. There may be 2 left, and that is not what Jerry Lynn wants. He wants that checker flag pronto, but we will see. He's got a lot to do as both of them float into the grass. I think Phil came off a little bit worse from that particular exchange. Gaining, I think, a little bit. As we see Lucas does on the back of Evan Imre, now up into 4th place because of the incident that we have just seen. So that's a lot of defending Evan is going to have to do.
There's definitely too much of this race left for Evan Imre at this point in time. And Lucas is really piling on the pressure, but the battle that we are gonna have a little bit of focus on here would be for P1. Wow, this is gonna be close.
You can never assume that the race is going to finish any one particular way. Push to pass on for Phil. He's lining out Canada corner again. As push to pass as well for Jerry Lynn to defend into Canada corner as he tries to shut the door. Phil looks one way. He's come to the outside line. That's not where he's been strongest. Can he outbeat Jerry Lynn?
Oh my goodness!
Oh no, but he's gone too deep. Bang, wheel banging between the two. Who's going to come out on top? Jerry Lynn holds on to the race lead. Phil is trying everything he can. They may get the checkered flag. Who's going to win out on this one? I genuinely don't know. Checkered flag is out. I think that is a win to Jerry Lynn. It isn't.
Wow.
Oh my goodness me. That was absolutely incredible. Rene Osterkamp is going to come over the line in 3rd place from spinning on the 1st lap. But Evan Imre, 4th place, his best season finish, being chased home by Lucas Dolzo. What a race.
Wow, and here we have Alexander in his first race as well, you know, getting into that P6 position. You know, and that is what happens when the guys in front of you are just really battling, and Scott Turfy even with his, you know, not the happiest of races here, you know, keeping on there and finishing the race and gets a P7 out of it. And we have here at the end Schiffer-Lee as well.
Schiffer-Lee, yeah. A little bit on his own, but still carrying on. We did lose quite a few cars. We of course lost Jamie Nuttall and Eric Vizzi in that huge tangle. We lost Rudy Avitsland, Jamie Dempster and Daniel Scott all earlier in the race. I think Schiffer-Lee is the last one to cross the line. Max Schneider with the fastest lap, even though finishing down in P9 with 2 pit stops as well. Still showing he had the pace out there, but Jerry Lynn, take a bow. That was superb. Got very intense, I think it's fair to say.
Oh, that got really intense at the end. Wow, these guys are just not letting up, and the the move that Phil tried to put in there at the end, it was, wow, that was so close.
It was looking good, and Jerry just had enough to defend against it, even with a bit of wheel banging going on. Both of them surviving until they get to the checkered flag. Here it is again. So Phil had the speed, goes to the outside line. Jerry defends very nicely. A bit of a tap possibly, but Phil runs a tiny bit wide. There was a tap between the two, and that cost him just enough momentum to mean they didn't have another lap to serve. So that's another thing to bear in mind. They were really, really close. I reckon if they kept the same pace, they might have beaten the flag, which is not what Jerry wanted at all in the first place. So, oh wow, that was absolutely incredible from the pair of them. And Rene Osterkamp spinning out from the first lap, being right down towards the back of the pack, still finishing in third place, just remaining as this near bulletproof consistency, as seeing him on the podium once again.
Yeah, but once again, one of the longer races, and no Rene to be on there. So
but look who's made themselves available to come and have a chat to us.
let's have a word.
Oh, Phil, are you with us?
Hello.
I cannot tell you how long I have been looking forward to chatting to you again. Oh, mate.
Wow.
Just, wow.
I know, I am impressive, aren't I?
So you're still you're still the pad warrior.
Always.
This can't be the same pad that you did the GTE League with all those years ago that didn't steer straight.
Well, I mean, it's the same type. It's not the same one anymore. I've gone through a few.
My goodness me. Talk us through that final lap.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to work out with Evan, who I was obviously in a call with. That never changes either. I was trying to work out whether it was going to be 30 laps or 29. I was trying to be like, because if it's 29, I'll use it coming out of. I'll use my boost coming out of the final corner for the rest of the final lap. So I didn't use it coming out of the final corner onto the final lap because I thought they were going to be 30. And then by the time that I got to, but it was fine anyway because I couldn't actually activate it until about halfway down the back straight, going into turn 5. And then once I got that, I was trying all I could. I thought I'd got the move done at Canada. It looked good, and then I just touched the outside, and the gravel nowadays is a bit of Velcro, slowed me down quite heavily. And then I didn't want to risk too much going through the left, so I kind of left. I kept it quite safe through there. And then I was thinking, maybe I can go for the final corner, but I'd been struggling a bit with that as well, and I feel like it probably would have just been a bit of a bump and run if I'd have tried it. So I thought, okay, I'll try the exit, but yeah, there's only so much you can do.
It's been a little while since we've seen you in these single seaters in this season, but it's Road America, a track that tends to do you well if you just kind of arrived and stolen a podium away, or has there been a lot of work in the background?
Well, I mean, a lot of work is relative. Like I did I did a fixed race earlier in the week, and that's pretty much it. I jumped into the practice with 2-3 minutes to go, and yeah, no, the car felt good pretty much from the off. I think Road America is generally quite a simple track, and a lot of it was, trying to keep with people keeping the slipstream. Usually, as long as you keep in the slipstream, it's not too bad. I was mostly struggling with a bit of oversteer, but when I was behind people, the dirty air was actually helping balance the car out a little bit. So yeah, Road America, I think it's generally more ideal. It's also like with this car, with the pad as well, with the way that I hold the pad, I grip it quite tight. And on really technical circuits, that's why you didn't see me at Zandvoort and stuff like that. I get quite bad cramp in it. The pain's just whatever. I can deal with it. But the problem is it means that I can't actually be controlled enough on the brakes or the steering to actually have a good race. So it's you don't see me at those ones, but you see me at these ones. So yeah, hopefully I can do the rest of the season though.
Final question from me. How on earth did you not join Eric and Jamie?
I mean, that one I think is just a little bit of luck. I wouldn't say I'd anticipated it, or I kind of had. I wasn't expecting it, but I was anticipating it. And then when it happened, I was like, right, it's. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to look back to see exactly how I did, but it's just kind of one of those things that in the moment you kind of do. I guess you kind of just live with it by, living on your wits, I guess.
You were pixels away from joining them in a mess on the side of the track.
Well, I mean, that's at the end of the day, like when it's that close, it's a lot of down to luck, I think. And I got lucky because I didn't lose that much time that I was actually able to then still have a go at, for the win. So,
Nice.
Good stuff.
Mr. Reed, I just need why do you not have any orange on your car? It is a mistake.
You know,
it is a mistake, and you know it, and you know it.
yeah. Well, it's funny because when I switched to the 3.5 after we, all our seasons back in the day wrapped up, I switched into this color. I just really like this color. But I'm tempted to switch to orange instead of this for this car.
Well, that maybe is why you didn't win today.
You know what? You're probably right.
That is down to that. And if you had been in a pink car, you would have definitely won.
I claim no responsibility for that statement.
If I was in a pink car, I would have won.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
Hey, Kings, but I was going to say, speaking of liveries, I was going through my cars earlier and I saw the livery that I designed for your send-off race, and it made me nostalgic.
We were talking about that, funny enough, before we came on air. The legends of Brands Hatch. That was a good time. But there are a couple of other people we do need to speak to. Phil, it has been great to have a chat to you again after so long, and very much look forward to doing it again. Thank you very much, Phil Reed.
Thank you.
Who is next, Mr. Domino?
It is our winner.
Jerry, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Wow, my goodness, you must have been sweating. It looked very difficult to keep everybody behind you.
For sure. I mean, for the first half of the race, I think the group was outrunning me, and after that strategical overtake on them in the pit stop, I think I still don't have the pace. Really, was trying my best to keep the lead.
Yeah, but your strategy proved brilliant. You stayed ahead. We were kind of thinking that you could see people behind you, and then they kept doing something to put them further behind you. So you must have been quite thankful that they were fighting so hard.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, this is open wheeler racing. I guess that's expected since you can't really work together as a GT car or touring car.
You must have kind of had flashbacks, or I certainly had flashbacks of your win a few weeks ago at the track I've forgotten the name of, when you dived on the inside of the final lap on Rene. That was spectacular. I will say that moment made me scream as high as I ever have done in my entire commentary lifetime.
Yeah, I was not expecting that it will happen. I mean, I gave my best there. The corner is so tight there. There are just so many things that could go wrong. But I mean, I just got really lucky. I executed it perfectly. I mean, I think I left everyone enough room there.
It's great to chat to you again, Jerry. We do have somebody else to have a chat to. Brilliant win. Well done. You are a very deserved rest. Go and have one. Thank you very much, Jerry Lynn.
Thank you.
We've got to get our man Ertie in here,
Yeah.
haven't we? Evan, are you with us?
Hello there.
Hey, Paul, how you
Hey.
doing, man?
I can't believe it. It's King Kodiak.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Hey,
You're good?
hey, good. Hey, smashing.
Nick's no idea what we're saying.
I'm at this point. I will just say to the viewers out there, right now, you will not be able to understand anything.
Switch your subtitles on.
Yeah, and well, even with subtitles, you will be like, what?
Yeah. Oh, Evan, mate, you've got to be pleased with that.
Oh, yes. I mean, it was, my best performance of the season, probably, even though there was only 15 drivers. It's been practice. I was running the wrong setup. I was running the Zandvoort setup, and I felt really good in it. And I realised I was running the wrong setup, but I decided to basically keep most of the Zandvoort setup. And I had an amazing qualifying. Got lap after lap, better and better, and then I held onto the train in the race, and there was a couple of crashes that let me get.
What I'll do.
It was.
But you had Lucas Dolzer breathing down your exhaust pipe. That must have been quite stressful.
Oh yes, it was. Considering has to be much faster than me, but it seemed like he was struggling, so I got past him during the 2 or 3 laps. He struggled and managed to stay ahead. And well, I had Max's slipstream in front of me, which helped for a bit. And then I nearly crashed into him because Max crashed in front of me. I had to stamp on the brakes, and then the gap to Lucas was reduced to 1.5 seconds. And then luckily I had 50 seconds worth of push to pass left for the last lap. So yeah, held on. So very pleased for.
Oh, it's great stuff. I mean, it's fair to say that again, no disrespect meant, but again, by your own admission, it's not always you're not always generally the quickest one out there, but you've always kind of just gotten that bit better, bit quicker. It was great to see you, almost knocking on the door of the podium.
Oh yeah, it was. I felt like an imposter out there in that train, but yeah, it's pretty good. I feel like even though I only do one race a week, I feel like I'm been a bit faster this year. Probably mainly because I'm a bit fitter in my legs, but and I'm a bit more consistent. But yeah, it's surprising in these cars which are so fast. I don't really usually cope in fast cars, but yeah, it's pretty. I'm okay.
Yeah, I dare say you are. You make a good point actually about the setups. Obviously, Zandvoort last week, very technical circuit, high downforce requirement. So running a very similar setup worked quite well for you here.
Yeah, well, it was only 1.5 degrees and more in the rear wing of that the Zandvoort setup had over Road America, but it did benefit me, I think, on the tyre wear, and especially through the carousel where Lucas seemed to struggle a bit more. I was gaining a couple of tenths through the carousel, and people were squirming around like on lap 13, 14 of each stint. So I think it was a good decision. Like,
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, definitely.
It certainly kept you in there. So yeah, really pleased to see you up in P4, Evan. Well done.
But
Right, thanks for that.
Evan, it's not really only the setup you got wrong today, was it? What was it with you and time?
I might have messed the session up and had to spend another 83 cents setting a new one up, but it's amazing.
You had to rain on his parade, Nick. You really
I have to. I have to bust his
Can't believe
balls.
It's like I went 2 years without messing up a session, and then I've messed up 2 in a row.
Yeah. Well, this changing time thing has not really helped you at all.
No, it's not. But well,
I mean, what can we say? Podium beckons for you, Evan. I'm absolutely sure. Great race, mate. Well done. Go on and have a few tinnies, mate. Go and have a few tinnies now.
I always have my haggis nips and ties.
You no, I didn't. All right, pal. Can I talk to you now?
All right, see you later, pal.
Evan Imre, thank you very much. Good, sir. That is going to be it for tonight's festivities. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream and catching up with us post-event. A great pleasure to have you on board. Thank you very much, Nick Domino, for being in charge of the cameras and keeping me on the straight and narrow. A difficult job as always, but you weather it well.
Yeah, well, some people try to climb Mount Everest. I'm just trying to keep you through a live stream. It's same difficulty. So yeah, it was great fun and great to be here.
So next week we will get to do this all over again. We hope to see you along for the ride. Until next time, thank you very much and good night.